Gambit, Life is a Gamble. Chapter 2. Conflict of Interest. Gambit became an outsider. Wandering the world with no friends or family, lost in the world with no trust for the ones he called family was the ones that ripped the loyalty out his heart. It all started one night at a bar. Gambit gambling in the back corner as a waiter walked up to him.
How may I help you?
He would like for you to keep the shots coming.
Gambit seen a man sitting at the bar drunk talking.
Why? Why me? Why she had to leave me? I was good to her. Why she had to go?
Gambit walked over to the man and said,
Women come and women go. He too was supposed to get married, he know the feeling as well.
The man asks him,
How did you get over her?
He never did, and she too never loved me.
all that night Gambit and the man were drinking. Gambit told the man,
That's one fine watch you have. How much did you pay for it?
I don't know. She gave this watch to me the day she walked out.
Let's take one last shot before we go. Okay. To the women we lost. It was good to meet you, mister, but I have to be on my way.
Before he could walk out the door,
Hold up. I didn't get your name.
My name, Gambit.
Nice to meet you, Gambit.
two random men that were sitting at the bar walked out the door behind him. Gambit looked back and seen that the men was following him, so Gambit cut down a side street and took off running. The men ran behind him. Gambit knew all the shortcuts and back streets, still couldn't lose them.
Stop running, you can't hide from us.
Gambit seen an abandoned building, he kicked the door running in. One of them was standing inside the building.
Stop trying to run from us. We will find you.
He quickly ran back outside to find the rest of them waiting. That's when the man Gambit was drinking with spoke out.
Once a thief, always a thief. Even without his thieving ass family. Get him.
Gambit realizes they was hunting him from the start. The watch he stole from the man had a tracking device in it. Gambit looked at the watch and said,
Will it don't look like it's no place for me to run.
He dropped the watch on the ground, then stepped on it. Slowly pulled out his bow staff.
Let's see if your hand's as good as your feet.
Gambit took the bow and struck it on the ground in a circular motion. Not knowing they had an unfair advantage.
I've been trained to hunt mutants like you, so are you sure you want to go this route?
Run up and I will show you how sure I am.
The mutants ran at him. Gambit moved out the way, slipping past the men.
I'm quicker than you think.
Attack him.
One mutant powers teleportation. He teleported behind Gambit, but Gambit was fast and smart. He seen what the mutant was doing. Gambit turned around and hit him on the side of his face with his bow staff, striking it across his left cheek, hitting him so hard you could hear his jaw cracking as he spun around and hit the ground. All in one motion Gambit threw a card up in the air. As it came down he hit the card with his bow like a baseball bat. The card went flying at the men. Gambit said,
Catch that.
Gambit rolled on the ground, pulled the cards out his jacket and threw them at the men, but before his cards could strike a sniper shot them down. Gambit ran looking up,
Where the shooting coming from?
moving in slow motion, watching the man from the bar as his eyes close when he fell. Knockout. Hit with a tranquilizer dart by the sniper. Gambit woke up in a cell, then he heard a voice.
Do you know why you are here, Remy?
Gambit looked surprised.
I haven't been called that in a long time.
My name Mr. Sinister. You can't fully control your powers. Reducing can help you master them.
Now why would you do that?
If you would have married Belladonna you would have killed her. That's what Julian died for. You know your powers are uncontrollable. Now let me help you.
What's in it for you?
I would like for you to join our team. It's critical we find mutants and bring them here for testing. It's to save the future of the mutant population. But like you, some mutants don't understand what we are doing, so sometimes we have to use unethical means of extraction. The team can use a person like you if you could control your powers.
You captured me, shot me with a tranquilizer dart and locked me up in a cell. Now you have the audacity to ask me. Will I join your so-called missionary group?
Mr. Sinister replied to him.
Let me remind you. Your only other option is death.
Gambit laughed.
That's my only option? I know I can't make things right with Belladonna until I find a way to become a better man.
So Mr. Sinister removed some of Remy's brain tissue to reduce his power levels, affording him a greater degree of control. After the surgery was a success, Mr. Sinister brings Gambit to meet the team.
This is the people you will be working with. They call themselves the Marauders.
Yeah,
you
I
know
know
them.
them.
He said with a mad look on his face.
They are the same ones that attacked me. I would have kicked their ass if it wasn't for the sniper.
Later on, Mr. Sinister gave the Marauders a mission to catch a group of mutants called the Morlocks. One of the marauders came running back.
Good news, Mr. Sinister, I found them.
Sabretooth stood up.
Let's get them.
Hold up.
Gambit asks.
What's the plan?
I don't need no plan.
That night they went out to catch the Morlocks. One of the mutant powers controlling boats of energy. It's the transformation of raw power, demonstrating it by overcharging all surrounding lights, momentarily burning the Morlock's vision.
Nowhere to hide.
Sabretooth thirst for blood. Ran into a crowd of innocent bystanders, clawing and killing everyone in the room.
Hold up.
Gambit looked at the Morlocks. They reminded him of home. Then a little Morlock girl ran. Sabretooth ran behind her.
Hold up. Stop. Let her go.
Let her go. Or what?
Gambit looked in disbelief.
I didn't sign up for this.
Sabretooth asks Gambit.
What did you say?
The other marauders looked at Gambit with a concerned stare of terror look in their eyes.
You shouldn't have said that.
Sabretooth releases his claws from around the girl's neck, focusing on Gambit movements. Threw the girl's head into the concrete.
My brother said that. And I will kill him. Before now I will warm up by killing you.
Sabretooth struck Gambit with a forward kick, sending him in midair. Quick hand motion catching his feet, spun him around in circles and threw him into a wall. Charged at Gambit like a beast on all 4 feet, lunged at him like a missile with his fangs and claws for the kill. Gambit reached for his bow to protect himself from the attack, biting down on the bow shaking in his hands. Gambit charged the bow in his mouth, opened his hands, then he let the bow go. Sabretooth flips and spit the bow out.
Now you will feel my rage.
He charged at him again, this time swinging his claws faster. Gambit was trying to block the attack but he was overpowered. Gambit grabbed Sabretooth's dog tags from around his neck, charged it to explode, but the material the dog tags was made from absorbed the charge. Ripping the flesh from Gambit's body, Gambit hit Sabretooth with all his might, pulled out some cards, charged them up with his powers, threw them at him cutting his face, but as fast as Gambit was throwing the cards Sabretooth's face was healing. To buy some time, Gambit told the truth.
I overheard you talking to Mr. Sinister. It was something about the bow drop it you stole. Do you know our family been fighting for years? But I was willing to let that go.
Sabretooth breathing hard.
That changes nothing.
Gambit throws some cards at him, then ran out the door. Sabretooth grabbed the mutant with the power of teleportation.
Teleport me now.
He teleported outside dangerously close behind Gambit.
You are quick but I'm faster.
Sabretooth grabbed Gambit, threw him in the air through a wall on the second floor. Gambit lost a lot of blood, stumbling trying to walk. Giving Sabretooth the chance to walk into the room, picked him up slowly, opened his mouth to bite his face.
Hold up. I overheard Mr. Sinister talking to a man named Striker about putting something called adamantium in you, but has to inject you with the blood of a pit bull from the cajuns that you stole for him, and it will have side of effects. Striker said you're not strong enough to take the pain, but your brother is.
Sabretooth frozen in thought. Gambit broke free and said,
Look down, I bet you didn't see this coming.
Gambit charges the floor under Sabretooth as he was talking. The floor blew up under his feet, he fell into a hold. Gambit grabs the girl and ran. After escaping, Gambit went back home, but he didn't go to see his family, he went to see the Cajuns. Gambit walked into the door of the Cajuns.
Long time, I see y'all still can't play spades.
The Cajuns pulled out their weapons.
What are you doing here?
Put down y'all weapons, I came to deliver a message to y'all. It wasn't the Creoles that took y'all moot of a dog.
One of the Cajuns said.
I will kill you, murderer.
Gambit stood there watching him act out in rage because the information he had for them was too important.
Now if you are finished, I will tell you who stole y'all bow drop it.
Gambit sat down at the table where they were playing cards.
Deal me in, I will tell you what happened to y'all bow drop it. It was a man named Sabretooth, he was working for Mr. Sinister. The plan is to inject Sabretooth with the blood from the bow drop it, because his body not strong enough to take the adamantium bonding.
Why you tell us all of this?
Just remember that you owe me one in the future.
Gambit raised up from the table, turned around, walked out and said,
Real spade players don't play with the jokers.
The Cajun Guild looked at the cards. Gambit charged the jokers to blow up on the Cajun Guild as he walked out the door.
Now y'all have a nice day.
Back to the streets of New Orleans. Without his family, Gambit was doing good for himself. One day a man walked into the Backjack Shack looking for Gambit.
Does someone know a man named Gambit?
Gambit raised his head.
Who are you and what you want with Gambit?
I am looking for him, because he heard he was the only one that escaped from the island. I'm looking for someone to show me how to get there.
Gambit said.
You see that dog tag around your neck? One of the men from there had one just like that.
Gambit was getting ready to attack. His eyes turned red as the cards in his hand lit up.
I'm not letting you or no one take me back to that place.
The man said.
You see this dog tag around my neck? It reminds me why I have to. So with you or without you I will destroy it.
Gambit calmed down his attack.
So you are trying to destroy a whole island? Good luck, mister. To be real, anything possible and in one day someone was going to try to take it down. Good, you know my name, mister. So what do I call you?
My name, Logan.
Well, Logan, let's get to the business. I can get a plane, take you to all kinds of beautiful places and see wondrous things, or we can go to the island for mutant experimentation. It's your dead wish, not mine. Meet me tonight by the river bay. One last thing, bring something sharp to cut rope like knives. I will take care of the rest.
Later that night, Logan was waiting at the river bay for Gambit. That's when he seen Gambit's hand waving. Logan walked toward Gambit standing by a boat.
It's not much, but it will get us there.
That's when two men with shotguns ran toward the water, screaming thieves. Gambit looks serious, said Logan.
Cut the rope and jump in. We need to go now.
Logan releases his claws with a growl and cut the rope. Then jumps onto the boat. Shots fired, bullets streaking across, hitting the water, rocking the boat, splashing, drenching the deck with muddy water. That's when one of the men took a clean shot and hit Logan in the face. Gambit ducked in disbelief to see Logan's skull. Before Gambit could take in what happened, Logan mutant power regeneration. He regenerated before the men could reload their weapons as they floated down a dark river bay. Logan opened his eyes to see Gambit messing with a bag that was on the boat.
What kind of illegal thing? You swamp rat.
That's what we come to, name calling. Let's talk about mysteries like your skull made of adamantium.
Logan said.
It's more than just my skull. That's adamantium, Bob.
Gambit pointed.
You see that alligator pit? Over there, do you see the dead animal corpse? It's full of floating fish heads.
Logan stood up, inhaled, squinting his nose, but his nostrils were overpowered by the condensed sewage smell. Choking and coughing.
I can't distinguish the difference between the smells.
Gambit smiles at Logan.
You understand, that's what we like to call good old-fashioned bayou cover, a gumbo mixture of smells. I'm going to need your help. We need to push through the mist and mud.
Gambit raised one finger up and said under his breath.
Be quiet, we are getting close.
Wow. Alice is dead.
We have company waiting for us by the plane. Jump out, we might can ease around them without them noticing us.
Logan saw it was only 3 men. Special forces with military-issued weapons. Gambit told Logan.
Hurry up and hop in.
To take the plane off. Earlier Gambit charged some trash to explode that was floating in the river. The commotion distracted the special forces long enough for them to take off in the plane. Logan looked at Gambit and said.
You could have told me. You were stealing a plan?
You must have misinterpreted me. Didn't he get us a plane? Is that what he told you he would do?
I don't misunderstand nothing.
Gambit flew Logan over the island.
This is where you get off.
What, you want me to jump out? Over all this water?
Yes, mister. I'm not landing there. Bring you here now. Jump or come back to the city with me.
Logan jumped. Crawling out of the water onto the land, spitting water out his mouth to sea, Gambit flying over the horizon. Gambit returned to the Blackjack Shack to find people will gamble on anything you could place a bet on. Questioning him on the journey gave Gambit a bright idea to place wagers if Logan will survive. To capitalize on the opportunity, Gambit stood on a table and said,
House gets a 20% cut. I have returned from the land of no return. Will Logan live or die, complete his mission and destroy the whole island? Will he become a subject to experimentation, and last but not least, could he retrieve his dog tags from around his neck as confirmation?
The next afternoon, flying back to the island, he saw a mega explosion. The sound of an eruption echoed across the sky, trying to control the plane as rain missed the air. Gambit looked down.
Logan, I'm on the way, my friend.
Gambit landed the plane, jumped out and ran over to help him.
Are you okay?
Confused about his surroundings.
Who are you?
I'm a friend.
If you my friend, what's my name?
Logan, your name is Logan.
Logan grabbed his head, screamed in excruciating pain.
Tell her. I love her.
You love who?
Logan looked confused, staggering, shaking his head. Gambit questioning Logan.
What about love? You just ask Kame to tell her you love her.
Logan drops down to his knees.
I don't understand. Why I can't remember me or my past.
Gambit was deeply touched, lit a cigarette, reached in his pocket, grabbed the dog tags, gave them back to Logan.
Traumatic events could have that effect on the mind. You will make new memories, my friend.
Gambit returned to the airplane, motivated by the things Logan did. He felt that anything was possible. As the plane propellers started to spin, slam, a tree hit the plane, rocking Gambit, knocking him out of his seat. Gambit's immediate response was to investigate. Checking around the plane to find a tree leaning across the tail end, you could see the tree ripped from the roots.
What is this?
Gambit seen claw marks on the tree.
No, it can't be.
Gambit quickly charged the tree to explode, grabbed cards for attack mode, spent around to get hit and knocked against the plane. Sabretooth returns for his revenge. Perfect timing, the tree exploded, giving Gambit a chance to fight back, with Sabretooth only at half strength. Gambit said,
I had a long talk with your brother, it's ironic, but not crazy I find you here.
Sabretooth's regeneration powers weren't working normal from being overexhausted.
Now you see, Mr. Sinister and Striker was right. You're not as strong as your brother.
I'm still strong enough to destroy you.
Sabretooth wipes the blood from around his mouth. To be continued.